Hi everybody. You've got information already on why exercise is important for losing body fat and also the importance of nutrition in reducing your body fat as well. What I wanted to speak to you about now is the factors that fall outside of exercise and nutrition, but it's important to be aware of and to plan for over the 4-week intensive to ensure that you're doing everything possible to get the outcome that you want. So I'm referring to things such as identifying and planning for your own unique danger situations, the importance of sleep, rest and recovery, incidental activity, the mindset and mental attitude that you'll need to adopt over the next 4 weeks, and finally what happens after the 4 weeks is over. So first thing that I want to speak to you about is the importance of identifying and planning for your own unique danger situations. So what do I mean by danger situations? I'm referring to the situations or events in your life that commonly cause you to behave in ways that aren't conducive to what you're wanting to achieve over the next 4 weeks. The reason why these things are problematic for people is because they walk into those situations without a plan as to how they're going to deal with them, how they're going to behave, so as they don't sabotage what they're trying to achieve. An example for me is I like to go surfing on the weekends. During the week at work, I've got a very solid routine that's a big part of what I do that I can follow without much effort. On the day off, I know that that's a dangerous situation for me because that routine's not there anymore. So I might go surfing down the coast and not take any food, and I realise sort of 4 hours after I've had breakfast that I don't have any food. I'm 2 hours away from home. My car needs petrol. I end up stopping at a service station, and there's not many good food choices in service stations. So for me, that's a dangerous situation. There's a few things I could do. I could, one, eliminate that dangerous situation from my life for the 4 weeks. So I'm not disciplined enough or organised enough to eat well when I go down the coast surfing, therefore I just won't go down the coast surfing. Or two, I can set myself some guidelines and get myself organised so I can still enjoy that, but bring some food, bring some water, and I can stick to what I've set myself over the 4 weeks. So for everybody it's going to be different. It might be a party that you have, it might be catching up with friends at Burke Street Bakery, it might be catching up with friends for dinner. What's important is that you identify where you think you could go wrong, and you set up a plan and set some guidelines for yourself as to how you're going to deal with that. With the volume of changes that you'll be making to your lifestyle, to your food, you're going to be eating different things, eating at different times, you're going to be training more. It's really important that you're getting enough sleep, rest and recovery over the next 4 weeks. So basically as human beings we function better, we train better, our ability to organise ourselves is better when we're well rested. If you're somebody that sets some guidelines around reducing your coffee intake or perhaps having more breakfast, getting more sleep for you is going to be crucial. So for the intents of the 4-week intensive, I'd recommend that everybody try and get an extra 4 weeks, an extra half hour of sleep per night. So there might be some dead TV time or dead internet time that could, I guess, be culled so that you can get some more sleep and just cope with all the changes that you're going to be making a bit better. In the exercise section, you would have heard that exercise will increase your energy expenditure to assist you with weight loss. So it's important to remember that it's actual physical activity, not just exercise, that burns calories and assists with your weight loss. So something that's important over the next 4 weeks is that you try and actually increase your incidental activity as well as increasing your exercise. So that could be going for a walk at lunchtime, walking to and from work, taking active options on the weekend like catching up with friends by having a walk around Centennial Park. It's up to you, but trying to, I guess, basically move as much as possible. I've actually got a client here who 2 winters ago we did a measurement at the end of winter, and she'd put on 2 kilos, and we were both sort of scratching our heads as to why that had occurred. Her diet hadn't changed, her exercise frequency and intensity hadn't changed from what we could see, but she'd put on about 2 or 3 kilos. Anyway, last winter the exact same thing happened. put on a few kilos, diet hadn't changed, her exercise hadn't changed. And what we figured out was in summer she's really active, she goes bushwalking, she really enjoys the beach, goes to the beach most weekends. Then when winter rolled around, the incidental activity stopped, and the net effect of that over the 3 or 4 months of winter was about a 2 or 3 kilo weight gain. So it is important to try and maintain or increase your incidental activity to supplement what you're doing in the gym. With the amount of changes over the next 4 weeks, and with the different foods that you're eating and the increased training, there's probably going to be some fluctuations in your energy levels. There's going to be times where you're feeling, I suppose, euphorically high, you're eating well, you're training, and you're feeling really good. And there might be times when your energy levels are a bit down, you might be feeling a little bit flat. It's really important that you sort of adopt a glass half full positive mental attitude over the next 4 weeks to help deal with some of these, I guess, some of these signs from your body that you are making changes, and you should view these challenging times as, I guess, positive reinforcement, positive feedback from your body that you are actually making changes to a lot of unhealthy habits that you might have had in the past. First time I did this was back in October 2008, and I remember clearly back then that after about 2 weeks of the program, I had a real nagging thought in the back of my mind: what's going to happen at the end of the 4 weeks when all this is over? What am I going to keep doing it? Is it all just going to fall apart? Which leads me to my next point, which is what happens after the 4 weeks is over. The 4-week intensive puts you in a really powerful position to make long-term changes to your lifestyle. I want you to transport yourself to 6 months from now. So it's, weather might be getting warmer, it's Christmas parties are on their way, and basically the 4-week intensive at that point in time is going to be one of 2 things. It's going to be the springboard that you use to implement a lot of the changes that you're still sticking to at the moment, and a lot of the habits that you still have at the moment. Or it's going to be that thing that you did back in May where you lost a few kilograms and you've since put it back on. So there's a process that we're going to go through at the wrap-up that sort of outlines the way to convert the 4-week intensive guidelines that you've set into more long-term sustainable guidelines. So the hope is that that you would actually be able to match and identify what changes you made had the biggest impact on your results, with how sustainable those changes were. And the idea is that you would set yourself some guidelines that might not be as strict as what you're doing in the 4-week intensive, but are a lot better than the baseline level that you had before the 4-week intensive. So that'll all be sort of demystified at the wrap-up. So that's about it in terms of the things you didn't think were